Solange is better than Beyonce.
You're actually starting the podcast with that. Okay.
I mean, just in my opinion, but everybody has their own opinion on shit, so, it's not that big of a deal that
Some
I
people
think what
have
I
no
think.
opinions.
That
Well,
reminds me of that episode of
well,
SpongeBob where Patrick was saying he was doing absolutely nothing, and then he did absolutely nothing.
yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
We were saying before
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
we were saying
So,
before I was saying before the podcast started that as soon as you say that everyone's gonna click off the video and we're gonna get 0 views, so we'll see if that's the
um,
case.
well, shit. Last episode also got 0 views, so
It got
it's
one
just me
view and I was
coasting.
that one view. Well,
Oh,
and
so
that it won't it
are you
won't
gonna
be last
watch it and
episode,
then
it'll be the second episode. It will be
okay.
the second episode because we're gonna have uploaded the Chelsea Wolf one, so the second episode got
Oh
one
shit,
view.
true, 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 true.
Fake music Nook fan over here. Doesn't know the lore.
Are you down with the okay? Enough fucking around. Hey
Yeah,
everybody, welcome
this
to the
is
Music
this
Nook.
podcast shit is serious.
It is, it's very serious. You gotta take this shit seriously.
You're right.
Welcome
You're right.
to the Music Nook episode 4. It is Jaden's week this week, which means Jaden picks an album and they're going to lead us through a discussion on that album. And I, having listened to that album, am going to offer up some of my own opinions as well. And the album that Jaden picked this week is When I Get Home by Solange.
I
This
thought you were
album is
gonna
from.
say when I get hard.
No! Ego 4, When I Get
Some
Hard.
good old immature humor for us. But continue.
The album is a love letter to Solange's hometown, Houston, Texas, and is narrated by
I did
various
not know
African
that.
American. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And is narrated by various African American women whom she grew up with. The album is a mixture of R&B, the Houston style of chopped and screwed hip hop, and cosmic jazz. I didn't get a lot of chopped and screwed. I definitely
It
see
was
the
there.
R&B and the cosmic jazz. Huh.
Yeah. You said that I'm gonna be leading you through this. This was actually I chose this album partially because I hadn't ever listened to it all the way through. So I'm also pretty new to this album, which is I was thinking if we ever revisit some albums in the future for this podcast, I think we should revisit Circles at some point when we've done this for longer and gotten into our groove a little bit more. Since just because that was the first episode, there's nothing wrong with the episode or anything. And this one, I feel like we're probably going to want to return to in the future when we've both had more time with the album. But I think this is a good like we can give our kind of early impressions of this album because I still really love it. Uh, Eve spoiled that she really loved the album before the podcast, and I kept my opinion closely guarded, very secretive to myself, but I can confirm that I love it. Um, I love every track. I love every interlude. I asked Eve what her favorite interlude was, and I don't know my favorite interlude, so it was kind of a unfair question on that end. Um, I think that the so one thing about this album is it has a lot of tracks, but it's only like 39 minutes overall, and it breezes by pretty fast. It kind of everything kind of works together. It just flows perfectly. Stay flow. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Um, I Things I Imagined is the first track and maybe the catchiest one on the album for me personally. Um, but I saw things I imagined. I saw things I imagined. Like it's so good. It's really catchy. It's really memorable. It's a fantastic opener to the album. It's unforgettable. Um, I I think musically it's fantastic. I am not 100% sure. I think that I'll get more into the lyrics to this album as we look through this now, and I feel like I'm just going to be like, man, I feel like we with the last three albums that we've done on this podcast, it's kind of been ones that we picked for the sound, but the lyrics are also fantastic. Like the Nerd album, I chose because I was like, yeah, let's just do like a album that's mostly focused on sound. Just like my motivation was kind of let's do something that's like more like easy for me to talk about because it's such an early episode in the podcast. But that proved to have so much more going on than I gave it credit for initially, and I just grew to love that album even more. Then Birth of Violence by Chelsea Wolfe. Um, I I don't want to speak for you too much, but you mostly talked about the sound and the vibe of the album, but it looks like there's a lot to the lyrics that like even you with it as one of your favorite albums of all time, like the lyrics are so cryptic that it's like you don't even necessarily pick up on all of what she's talking about. And I was mainly going to you hoping that you would like decipher the full album for me, but it was just like, yeah, the vibe's good. And I was like, dang, Eve sounding like me right now. But that's not an insult or anything. That's just how it went out. And this album, I feel like there's a lot going on with the lyrics as well, even though I mainly just chose it because I thought it sounded good from what I heard. But I found there was so much more going on with it under the surface. But that was kind of a rant. You go
Fun
ahead.
fact, I have my next 7 albums planned.
Oh, nice. I got
I'm
like a couple in in the tank.
in the tank. Yeah,
Yeah,
the intro pretty much instantly got me in hook, line, and sinker. I mean that's all I really have to say about it. It's a great intro because it got me just like instantly. Like when I was first going to listen to the album, I was like, I need to listen to an album for the podcast. That is a thing that I have to do. I am doing a responsibility right now. And then like 30 seconds into the intro, I was just enjoying the album, and I'd shifted from a mindset of I'm doing work to I'm enjoying myself. Fantastic fucking intro.
absolutely, absolutely. It's just memorable, catchy. I feel like it's a great first track because you can start the album and it'll stick with you. It sticks with you. It'll make you want to come back.
So the second track is called South McGregor.
Yes, and the interludes on this album add so much, in my opinion. As I've said, I think I've said before, like they they like. Oh, I don't think I've said this actually. I wrote this in my notes. They really add to the album. Like I think that the album is better for having the interludes. It's not just like they're a fine thing to have there. They're like the album actually is like improved by having all of these musical interludes that like musically are amazing and vocally like lyrically at a lot of points seem to add a lot to the concept and the themes of the album. So I don't know if we're going to be talking a ton about every interlude as they happen necessarily, but some will definitely have some highlights.
Yeah, this album is, I believe, under an hour long, but it's 19 tracks.
Exactly. It's like 39 minutes or so.
So, next track is called Down with the Click. Didn't expect it to sound like what it ended up sounding like, but
Oh, what did you say? You cut out.
oh, I did. I said it didn't end up sounding like what I expected it to sound like. I expected it. I mean, I guess it kind of is one of the more, sort of like groovy, catchy songs on the record. But it's not the sort of like hip hop banger that the name Down with the Click would normally imply. But then again, that's not what this album is. That's not the purpose of it. It's not the purpose of
Mm.
this album is not to provide that kind of material. And I still enjoyed the song. Like I enjoyed every song on this record. There's not a single one that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, this is a great song. I don't even know what to say.
I have a question for you though.
Oh yeah, what you got
Are you down?
with the click? In general, I'd say sure, sure, sure.
The Click?
I guess sure. Yeah, go for it. Sounds good.
The next track is called Way to the Show.
That reminds me, it has nothing to do with this song, but it just reminds me. The title just makes me think of "Came to My Show" by 100 Gex, which this album has nothing to do with, but that's one of my main notes.
Anything else? This album is hard to
Uh,
talk about song by song because it's really just kind of like one giant mosaic. I honestly was not even paying attention to what I would call not even the individual songs. I would call them almost like the arbitrary cuts that were made in this 40-minute long song.
yeah, exactly. That's what it really feels like. Um, and it seems like the description of this song on Genius is just it that it pays homage to her hometown with references to the candy paint jobs that are a staple of Houston culture. And I wonder if there's more to it than that, but it seems to that seems to be like kind of at least on the surface what's going on. And I appreciate the song a lot. It's very good. I feel like as you get deeper into the album, there are more songs that stand out on their own, which is interesting.
Apparently, this is the candy paint jobs that it's referring to, that the
Look
annotation
at
is
that
referring
car.
to.
That car has to be the thumbnail for the video. That's a cool car.
Um, yeah, they need to host a GTA in Houston, or better yet, San Antonio.
Oh,
Bitch, can I hold the mic? Don't, please, can I hold the mic?
manifestations.
Yeah, I like the lyrics of this. I can't be a singular expression of myself. There's too many parts, too many spaces, too many manifestations, too many lines, too many curves, too many troubles, too many journeys, too many mountains, too many rivers, so many. Um, I feel like, probably everybody relates to that to a certain extent, but
Mhm.
that did really strike a chord with me because, I've had a pretty crazy life, and in addition to a whole bunch of other crazy stuff, one tiny part of that has been wearing different masks around different groups of people. So I feel like rarely, like only like my close friends really have like I feel like too solid of an understanding of me. Because different people see different parts of me. Um, so yeah, I wish it would be cool if this was more of a song, but still, even the spoken word and the interlude is definitely adds to the record.
The interludes really they brought it with the interludes on this album. That's for sure. Dang, dead silence after that. I cannot hear you if you are talking, by the way.
Oh no, no, I'm not talking. The next track is Stay
Okay,
Flow, track number 6.
Stay Flow is really good. It's the first appearance, I think, of the Hold Up like ad lib that is used on various songs throughout the album. I knew it from Almeida, which was the first song that I heard on the album. And so when I heard it here, I was like, oh, cool. It's like a whole thing.
These lyrics are interesting. Niggas get fade and feel it on their face. Talking all day, then they feel it on their place. Take it all down, they gon' feel it on the day. Take it all home and they feel it all the way. Taking all shots and they feel it on their face. Take it all down, make them feel it on their face. Men get down and they put it on a show. Girls getting down every day. Working out of town on the floor. Making things swang on the go. Niggas get down and they feel it on the face. Motherfucker, I'm down, 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 don't you know? Niggas wanna come into play. Niggas get all in their feelings. Niggas get down every day. Niggas play games when you flex. Niggas throw stones, they can feel it on their face. Take it all home, they can feel it on their face. This sounds kind of like a gender pride song. Um but it's a little bit cryptic for me to understand exactly what she's getting at. I think that there are some allusions here to male fragility as well as to the the reality that in a lot of places women, despite being underappreciated, contribute a lot to um, a certain culture running, basically, if not more so than the men in that culture, as well as the heightened levels of awareness that women often have in comparison to people who identify as men. Um, so, I mean, that's kind of like my very quick interpretation of this thing that should probably take several, you know, a decent amount of time to like to comb through. But
Hmm.
interesting, very cryptic and very gender war-y.
I can see what you mean by that. I wasn't sure what to make of the lyrics, but I think that that's a good interpretation. I think that I would probably need to spend more time like combing through it, like you said, to get a solid interpretation out of it. But I think that's a good uh, interpretation. Apparently, Metro Boomin is credited on this song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow, he is.
and John Carroll Kirby. I don't know who that is. Good for him.
Me neither. Um, um, Next up we have Dreams. Um,
This is another
this album
catchy
is a
one to
different
me.
experience when you're just kind of reading through the lyrics, rather than listening to it. I feel like when you're listening to the album, you get kind of lost in the raw musicality of it. But when you're reading through the lyrics, like there's a
Are you
lot
there?
of really profound songwriting on here.
I cannot seem to hear you if you are talking.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
I
Uh-oh.
cannot hear you.
No.
Oh no.
Okay, hold up.
Let
I'm
me
gonna
leave and come
try.
back.
Can you hear me? The podcast is broken.
I know. My other headphones have a habit of turning on, they're Bluetooth and they have a habit of turning on by themselves and then automatically connecting and ruining everything. So I just
Stealing
had to
the
disconnect
audio.
from them. Exactly, just eating the audio all up.
I was about to sit down and have a nice plate of audio, and then fucking the Bluetooth headphones just came and snatched the spaghetti off my plate with their bare hands.
Precisely,
That's how I
exactly like
imagine that
that.
happening.
That's exactly what happened.
And of course, Bluetooth audio is a specific type of spaghetti. Like, in case anybody didn't understand that part of the joke. Yeah.
That
But
audio is spaghetti,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
of course.
Audio is spaghetti. Little tiny
Yeah,
invisible spaghettis that go straight from the speaker to your ear. They
podcasts
look
are
like
a
little
very Italian
parasites.
medium in that way. What?
Um, what's your opinion on dreams and what this song is saying about dreams?
I like it a lot. I wasn't 100%. I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics. I just thought it was good and catchy. Um, I'm looking at through the lyrics right now. Dreams, they come a long way, not today.
Not today.
Um,
They come undone. They come around. That is very true.
I'm curious what the outro says.
Dreams do be coming undone and then coming around after they come undone.
Mhm.
Or,
Got my dreams
as
and my
Marilyn
eyes
Manson
wide
put
was the
it,
last lyric.
got my dreams and my eyes wide. That to me
He
is
did not
saying
say
that
that.
Marilyn Manson
What
said, when
is
all
the
of your
Marilyn
wishes are
Manson quote?
granted, when all of your wishes are granted, many of your dreams will be destroyed. That's on one of the 7 albums that we're going to be listening to over the next few months.
Dang, dang. That's a good lyric.
My dreams and my eyes wide, though, I interpret that as sort of I have my dreams, but I'm not letting my dreams seep into my reality and cause me to look at reality with rose-colored glasses. That is a very
Mhm.
biased to me perspective because like I'm all about, like uh hope mixed with reality, that kind of like balanced perspective. That's something that's just like a part of like me. So I could just be kind of projecting that onto that lyric, but that's what that instantly jumps out to me as. Uh I got my dreams, but I'm paying attention to shit. I'm not just a
Yeah,
naive dreamer.
yeah, I like that. I think that it seems to be the song in general seems to be about dreams tempered with reality. There's dreams they come undone and they come around. So it seems like she still has her dreams. She hasn't let go of them completely, but she's willing to say not today, I guess.
Not today, Satan.
True.
Fuck these hoe ass niggas. They all be talking. They all be saying shit. They all nothing without intention. Do nothing without intention. Damn. That's a
This
pretty
is yeah,
hardline
that nothing
stance,
without
but
intention line. I think that's a line that stuck with me. This interlude in general, like particularly for the nothing without intention, do nothing without intention part. Uh, that sticks with me a lot.
yeah. I actually misinterpreted this song when I first heard it. I thought she was saying you are nothing without intention. Um,
Mm.
which is kind of like, I guess, a way more severe and slightly hurtful way of making the same point. But yeah,
I mean, I could see that. I still think it's a. I like the message of it personally.
Bottom line, intention is very important. I agree. Absolutely
Yeah,
nothing without intention. That sounds hard. Um, I think I'm, I think I do the overwhelming majority of the things with intention, but 100%, that sounds kind of difficult. Sometimes you do be mindlessly doing things because we do be human though. But you know what? She's probably saying don't do anything important without intention. Don't do anything of consequence without intention, which is, that's probably what she meant, and that's obviously something that I could agree with.
or maybe do nothing without intention.
Maybe she's saying do absolutely nothing and have no intention while you're doing it.
Do nothing without intention. Yeah, she's saying it right there. Do nothing, have no intentions. Not as I don't think that's accurate, but
Just take the exact opposite meaning.
yeah, but I think that it's a good message to intention's important and to
It is.
keep it keep it in mind. But yeah,
Next
Almeida,
track,
Almeida,
Almeida.
featuring Playboy Cardi and the whole
I like Playboi
hold up.
Carti as a featured
Oh,
artist.
oh,
I don't really like listening to Playboi Carti like lead songs, but Playboi Carti when he's featured on other people's work is pretty much invariably fire.
I might have to recommend a Playboy Cardi album at some point. I might have to try to get
Hey,
you
I'm
into it.
down.
I listened to Die Lit in high school, and it like changed my life.
I'm down.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about a Playboy Cardi album. We're talking about a song that Playboy Cardi is on. However, Solange is also on it, and she does a lot of interesting stuff on this song. I think, yeah, Pharrell Williams is a producer on this song. I can't help it with the Pharrell Williams. Also, the Blackberry the Masses. I heard that is Blackberry, and I heard that is Bury the Masses. But I think that's an
Oh
intentional,
shit.
like you're supposed to hear it. You think you're supposed to hear it like that?
Oh,
But
it's the Genius Annotation says this may be a nod to Mista's classic June 1996 track, Blackberry Molasses, a song about enduring the hard times. And I think Blackberry the Masses might be about getting the masses addicted to smartphones.
you think so? I hadn't thought
Yeah,
about that. That's fair.
it's interesting how I
But
actually thought that there was at least one part of the song. Oh no, there is. Okay. I was gonna say I thought there was at least one part of the song that was only Playboy Cardi because, but Solange really blends in with Playboy Cardi well, or melds with Playboy Cardi well. But
mhm,
that would not be that would be a weird thing to say because yes, I heard it right. Playboy Cardi does have his own verse in the song,
yeah,
but still, Solange does sort of adjust herself to work on the song with Playboy Cardi, which does not surprise me that she's able to do that. She seems like a very talented and versatile artist.
mhm. What a good song. That might be one of my favorites on the album, as well as
Yeah,
the
me too.
instrument, the beat switch at the end of the song, like as it fades out, is one of my favorite parts on the album.
Next up is track number 10, Time. Like I said, I for me,
If you didn't click
this was
off
like it felt like
after
a
us saying, if you didn't click off after Eve said that uh, Solange is better than Beyonce, you're going to click off for us going over Alameda that quickly.
I well, the thing is for me, like, if I remember correctly, there was like maybe like only like a couple to a few songs that actually felt like that like didn't there was only like a couple to a few songs that didn't transition into the next track. Like
Mhm.
it really did feel like a 40-minute long song with arbitrary cuts made just at various
Yeah,
points. So it was
yeah.
hard to like go song by song. Like I didn't even register individual songs really.
This is gonna be our longest episode.
I think the first episode was like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Was it? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna check right now.
Birth of Violin. No, that's last episode's. Um, my skin, my logo. Oh yeah, this is another highlight for me.
That's a highlight for me. Another Gucci Mane feature. Second album, two for two albums I've recommended featuring Gucci Mane.
Yeah, this one is catchy and it flows really nicely.
Hmm.
Just reading through the lyrics here. Oh shit, Tyler the Creator's on this song? What the
Tyler,
fuck?
oh yeah, Tyler the Creator is on I think multiple songs, just adding small pieces here and there. I noticed his voice. I think on the last track too.
Oh shit, I did not notice that at all.
Hmm.
We deal with the freaking, and this isn't an interlude, this is an intermission.
Ooh,
Um,
I think it's because it's about halfway through, if not the exact middle point of the album.
no, it's a little more than halfway through, but yeah, it's close enough to halfway through.
Oh yeah,
It
never
might
mind.
be halfway through. Then I was also referencing
Yeah,
chocolate, so it also might be
time
halfway
is it
through.
was halfway through. Yeah, might be halfway through time wise, but I could be wrong.
I'm trying to get the woman to understand the dynamic power and the spiritual energy. Do you realize how magnificent you are? The God that created you is a divine architect that created the moon, the sun, the stars, Jupiter, Mars, Pluto, Venus. We are not only sexual beings, we are the walking embodiment of God consciousness. Um,
True.
this does seem to be a concertedly feminist album, so I don't want to like poo-poo it, but I would say people who identify as men could also be thrown into there. I think it's fair to say that humans are the walking embodiment of God consciousness. But this album is about uplifting women. Women need to have um, our own time dedicated to us because men have a lot
Yeah,
of time dedicated to them. So I wouldn't say that there's anything wrong with that.
yep. I'd say that saying that doesn't take away from men in any way or anything.
Um, although Solange rarely rings on the topic of sex, Gerard is the first song in her entire discography to be centered on this theme. Um, the end of the interlude transitions into the beginning of this song. This transition is a sample of Rainbow Boom from the soundtrack The Holy Mountain.
A holy
Some
mountain.
R&B and
Wow.
do you recognize that?
Yeah, I know that movie. I haven't watched it, not the whole way through. I started watching it. It's a trippy movie. It's a supposedly incredibly good. It's a lot of people's like favorite movie of all time.
Some R&B and neo soul artists have paid their respects to the Argentinian director Alejandro Jodorowsky, um, as the
Podorowski, I
surreal
believe.
nature of his films have influenced the genre's atmosphere and sound. The abstract and often unpredictable nature of neo-soul sound can be attributed to the unexpected nature of Jodorowsky or Hodorowski's cinematic concepts. This is reflective in neo soul because unlike most contemporary R&B, neo soul is not afraid to experiment with avant-garde, surrealist, or abstract concepts. Works such as
Oh, shut
D'Angelo's
up.
Voodoo.
Shut up, frickin' not you. Shut up, frickin' person who wrote this. Oh, contemporary R&B doesn't experiment. Yeah, it does. Frickin'
I
The
mean, some
Weeknd.
people might argue that the contemporary R&B that does experiment would be more accurately classified as neo soul. I think they're probably
Dang,
referencing a very
dang.
specific genre of contemporary
You
R&B.
got me there.
I
Nah,
know what
like
they're
The
talking
Weeknd
about.
experiments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Yeah,
he would
you're
be
okay.
considered pure. He would definitely not be considered pure contemporary R&B. Um, I'm thinking of maybe sort of like a Chris Brown. I haven't heard Chris Brown's recent music. He could be more experimental nowadays. But like Chris Brown's music as of like fucking a few years ago would definitely be like just like straight R&B, just kind of like by the book.
I was gonna say whoever
Um,
wrote this just is kind of just clearly is just a Hodorowski fan and is just using this as an opportunity
yeah.
to talk about Hodorowski. That we can
It that
agree on.
does kind of see, that does kind of seem like it.
Yeah,
Solange has carried
not a
this
bad
on
thing,
throughout
but
When I Get Home, constantly going against the grain to allow herself to have freedom, exploring abstract and oftentimes unconventional concepts. The same way that this album dictates that nothing should be done without intention, Solange's intentions of sampling Hodorowski's work comes as a matter of noting his abstract work as one of his numerous influences on her work. That didn't really, I don't feel like that, okay. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of an excuse to bring up Hodorowski, but okay. Get your shit off, I guess.
like she samples it at the beginning of the song, and that's all that this guy talks about. All right, I respect it though. Clearly,
It'd
you
be
have
like
the
that.
things you like. Good for you, but I'd like to know more about this song. It's a good song. This one is another really really good song. Just adds to the album. Okay, now that we're done making fun of the
Beans.
genius annotator, next song.
The next track is called Bins.
Vamp. I've never heard that musical term before. That's cool.
Let's
I guess that makes sense. That's like after the intro, like the pre-verse kind of thing, I guess is what it means.
hello Eve. How can I help you today? Oh, you're not seeing this on your end, but I'm gonna ask Gemini. Um, what is a vamp in musical
What is Gemini?
structure? It is Google's chatbot. It's Google's answer to ChatGPT.
Ooh.
A vamp in music is a repeating section, usually consisting of a short harmonic or rhythmic sequence played over and over again. It can be anything from a single chord to a few bars long, and can serve several purposes depending on the context. They can create suspense or build anticipation. They can provide space for improvisations, kind of like holding the song down while other people do other things over it. Bridge sections or transitions, or fill time. I now that I know what vamps are, I take extensive usage of instrumental vamps. A lot of my productions are based on certain like one phrase that's repeated over and over again throughout the entire song. And for me, it would play more of the providing space for improvisation uh, uh, model, where I just sing over that and have artifacts over that in the instrumentation. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so the vamp. I don't really remember the song exactly, but I'm assuming this is getting repeated um, throughout part of the song.
Yeah, this is the part where I was re-listening to the album before this episode, and I stopped right before this song, right at Jared was the last one I listened to, so I might get a little bit fuzzy at this point about the specific songs. Oh yeah, I remember the lyrics to this one a little bit though.
So dollars never show up on CP time. CP time or colored people's time refers to a negative stereotype that African Americans are always tardy to events. I mean, I guess it's a negative stereotype to people outside of the African American community, but oftentimes it's used jokingly and in an endearing manner within the African American community, but whatever. Um, yeah, it's okay. So it just explains that African Americans are late to shit. I'm just joking. But dollars never
And
show up on CP time. I just want to wake up on CP time. Yeah, waking up on CP time is nice. As somebody who is able to wake up on CP time, just kind of wake up whenever your circadian rhythm decides it wants to wake you up. But it's important to note that, even as something as, as appealing as that might be, dollars never show up on CP times. The nature of capitalism demands timeliness because it enables a form of discipline and punishment to the proletariat. It provides a form of discipline and punishment that can be inflicted upon the proletariat when they aren't timely enough. Um, Fun fact,
mhm,
I've heard that from several different people.
yeah, real stuff.
But I don't even know if that's what the song is about because then it says, "Wake up to that nigga, leave he behind, get a presidential suite, leave with they linen, in the rolls that's rented, windows tinted." So I don't even know exactly what the song is about. Um, yeah.
Let's see if the genius annotator is making this about freaking Quentin Tarantino or some shit.
Bins features contributions from R&B legend The Dream as well as from the renowned experimental pop artist Panda Bear of Animal Collective. The song
Animal
"Didn't Want to Have to
Collective.
Do It" by Rotary Connection is sampled at the tail end of the track. Okay. Topically, Solange sings about getting money while living lavishly while breaking the stereotype of black people being poor, which would kind of go against the money dollars never show up on CP time. Um, Additionally, in a partnership with Sonos, Binge was featured in a viral commercial promoting the Sonos home sound system. All right,
The
get your
Sonos
money.
home sound system has been influential to many different. I keep making fun of that person. I've moved on. It's out of my system now.
Beltway is the next track. Um, this is a very neo soul album. If we're going to define neo soul as having a lot of abstractness and experimentation, um,
Mhm.
just the word "don't" repeated over and over again. Then "you love me, love me, love me, love me," and then "lone" repeated over and over again, and then "you love me, love me, love me, love me" again, and then an instrumental bridge, and then the chorus again. Um,
It's a really good song though. This one is a highlight for me.
nice.
It's catchy.
Second to last interlude on the album. Exit Scott.
Dang, that's a good. If it were possible to place you in my brain and let you roam around in and out of my thought waves, you would never have to ask, "Why do you love me?" Dang, that's a good one.
Damn, that's crazy. Let's see what the genius annotators have to say about the outro. Please take the wheel forever. With you, I feel forever. Show me the way to never. Down where you'll stay forever. This section of the song is a snippet and sneak peek to the song outro off of Steve Lacy's album Apollo 21, which released later in 2019. Hmm.
Actually, it says XXL with a lowercase l.
Okay. Wait. No, no, no. Wait,
Stop
fuck.
your joke.
That's an interesting musical collaboration. I've never heard of something like that before. That's really cool.
Yeah.
The end of my
Uh,
track is a sneak peek at the at a track on somebody else's shit.
There was actually, if you remember the song XXX by Kendrick Lamar featuring U2, that U2 part just got U2 just used that on a different song later. So that's the only comparison I can think of. It's not a play.
Next up, we have Sound of Rain.
Pharrell Williams again. Yay.
Pharrell Williams again. Jaden and Pharrell Williams. Also, you have been louder than me this entire podcast. We need to start remembering to do mic
Uh,
checks like before the beginning of each podcast because like I just assumed that because it was okay last time, it would just be okay this time. But I just realized that this entire time you've been louder than me. But whatever, it's probably not too dramatic. Um, Sorry, I'm just reading through the lyrics again. Um, this sounds like a song of rejecting authoritarian control and choosing, or, you know, choosing might be a problematic way to frame it, but pursuing self-determination instead. Um, that's kind of what I get from these lyrics. You think I don't want to tear it up? We came all night long. Won't you let it up? You think I don't want to tear it up? We lit on our own. Won't you let it up? Let's go. Nobody giving a dress of me, so nobody can dress effeminate me. Let's go. Nobody taking a joke like me, so nobody dress can effeminate me. That's what that kind of sounds like to me. That's the impression
Curious how
I
they
get from the
describe it
lyrics.
in the about.
Sound of Rain, the 17th track on the album, features guest vocals from singers Abra and Steve Lacy. According to the website Cool Hunting, the song blends jazz with neo soul, zydeco, electronic hip hop, and so much more, creating something that's concurrently unfamiliar and undeniably Solange. All right, cool.
Go talk about the lyrics. Dang.
Yeah, I feel like Genius annotations have maybe gone down a little bit in quality recently, like in the past couple years. They used to be really focused on interpreting lyrics and like really adding substantive things to people's understandings of the song, and now it's a lot of like non sequiturs and like very just like random quotes and shit, and it's like okay. Um,
Yeah.
shame, shame, shame.
Well, I think the song's really good.
The 18th track is called Not Screwed. Let's see what the Genius annotation says. The sample says is not screwed, and if those stars is lining up, using one of the most recognizable sounds of music production as the virtual DJ siren could be. Um, Solange is flexing about how she does not always need a big production to show their artistic view. Um,
Autistic.
does Solange use they them? I'm gonna ask Gemini. Does Solange use they them pronouns? Uh, Gemini says they don't know the answer to that question. I guess pronouns are too con.
Too
The thing is about
advanced.
Gemini compared to ChatGPT is Gemini is a lot more likely to just like just refuse to answer a question. Um, but let's try Copilot, which is based off of ChatGPT. Um,
Checking Solange's Instagram. No pronouns on the Instagram. No pronouns on the gram.
no
I
pronouns on
could
the
just
gram,
check
no nouns
Wikipedia.
on the gram. Oh, Solange Knowles, the talented singer, songwriter, and artist, uses they them pronouns. When referring to Solange, it's respectful
Wait,
to
really?
use these
Where does it
gender
say that?
neutral pronouns. You can't see it because of the way my screen is shared, but I that's what Copilot, which is based off of ChatGPT, says. So basically, that's what ChatGPT says.
Wikipedia is not using those. Wikipedia is
Fucking
not using
Wikipedia.
those.
God damn it. Let me check the source.
Where's the source for that?
It linked me to a generalized article on they them pronouns. Let's see if Solange is mentioned anywhere. Nope, Solange is not mentioned anywhere. Where? Damn. I think Copilot just hallucinated that. Okay, now I really
Yeah,
want to figure
I'm not
out.
seeing it anywhere. I'm not seeing
Damn, so
everywhere is using she pronouns.
maybe,
I'm not seeing it. I looked up Solange non-binary and there's nothing.
maybe Gemini was right to to just say I don't know the answer to that question because Copilot just straight up gave me wrong information. Huh, Microsoft? Huh. Anyway.
I am a proud black feminist and womanist, and I am extremely proud of the work that's being done, she said. I'm a feminist who wants not only to hear the term intersectionality, but actually feel it and see the evolution of what intersectional feminism can actually achieve. I want women's rights to be equally honored and uplifted and heard, but I want to see us fighting the fight for all women, women of color, our LGBTQ sisters, our Muslim sisters. I want to see millions of us marching out there for our rights, and she and I want to see us out there marching for the rights of women like Dejiria Becton, who was body slammed by a cop while she was in her swimsuit for simply existing as a young vocal black girl. I think we are inching closer and closer there, and for that I am very proud. That was a whole like paragraph long quote there. Sorry for that. But
No, that's good. That's good to hear to get that insight into Solange's um
yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
But next up, we're
So as far
coming
as I can tell, she is not she as far as we are aware.
probably an ally, but does not seem to be non-binary herself.
Yeah.
Um, so now for the last track in it's called "I'm a Witness," and it delivers a compelling prayer-like message from Solange, permitting the control over her body to accomplish what it is that needs to be done. Layered with cosmic instrumentals, "I'm a Witness" concludes the album with a power and even spiritual element from Solange. You can work through me. You can say what you need in my mind. I'll be your vessel. I'll do it every time. And I won't stop till I get it right. Good night. Take it on the light. And I won't stop till I get it right. Good night. Take it on the light. This shows the growth of the overall record from Solange swallowing the lines fed to her to embracing the truth and the light. So there's a couple different perspectives on exactly what these lyrics mean. I would imagine that there's multiple perspectives on many lyrics on this album.
Absolutely, and that's what I think that I actually think that's what this song is about. I think it's about um I think it's a meta song on the album about how people are going to interpret and like you can say what you need in my mind like are going to people are going to put their own meanings onto the lyrics on this album. She says, "I'll be your vessel. I'll do it every time." It's like, "I'll be your vessel." I interpret this song as being about how people will interpret it differently, and she's giving up. She's like saying that she's giving up uh, the album to the listener, basically, is how I interpret it, and that I won't stop till I get it right. Like, she won't stop until, like, she gets the right message out there or puts the right uh, interpretation out there in your mind. That might be a stretch, but I think that was my interpretation when I first heard this song. But I think there's at least some truth to it. I hope. I just think it's cool if that's what it is.
I do like the idea of the verse and refrain and the chorus, speaking from the perspective of Solange's body. I do like the idea of training your body to aid you in manifesting the reality that you want. and your body saying, you can work through me, you can say what you need, and my mind, which would be our mind, me and my body's mind. I'll be your vessel. I'll do it every time. That sort of like dedication from your body and alignment with what, your mind and your heart wants, is a really cool interpretation for me. I don't know if there's a right one. I think a lot of these lyrics are intentionally sort of, you know, abstract, but that's an interpretation that I really like.
Hmm.
But that is the last song on the album. Any closing thoughts?
It's just a fantastic album. I'm glad that I chose it and listened to it. Um, I will definitely be revisiting it a lot. I really am a big fan of this album.
Oh yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to like make it take an effort to come back to this album specifically. I think I've just kind of gotten to the habit the past few days of just letting a Solange song play whenever it comes on my, automatically generated YouTube playlist. I've just been listening
Mhm.
to a fuck ton of Solange from all her
Yeah,
albums.
it's a good choice.
And I've noticed that her earlier music is a little bit more I don't want to say formulaic, but it's a little bit more by the books. It's a little bit more almost like radio friendly. It's a
Mhm.
little bit more, put together in the sort of stereotypical pop formula way. Um, And then there seems to be, I haven't listened to like her discography album by album, but judging from what I've heard from her earlier albums and what I've heard from her later albums, there seems to be this gradual progression into abstractness and into neo soul and into experimentation from her early discography to her later discography. And, even with that being the case, you can actually still hear sort of slight elements of that experimentation in her early discography that eventually take over in her later discography. You know what I mean? Like you hear the seeds being planted in her early discography that sprout and take root and eventually take over her entire sound and transform her entire sound. You hear sort of formulaic pop music, but with some slight experimentation here and there, some like little interesting little quirks about it. And then those quirks gradually grow and grow until her sound is kind of nothing but quirks, with her past couple
Mhm.
albums.
She has a song with Lil Wayne on one of her other albums.
Yes, I've heard that one.
I have not
Wayne
heard that
spits
one.
pretty good on that one.
That does not surprise me. I have to listen to it. I was just looking through the Spotify while you were talking. I'm sorry.
Um, no, Wayne spits pretty good on that song. But yeah, that is about it for this week's episode of the Music Nook. Um, Make sure to join us next week. Hopefully, it'll be next Monday, where we are going to be covering. I can't fucking drum roll. Donda by Kanye West. That's the album I'm picking for next week.
Ooh, ooh. All right then.
That's the first of the
Have to get
seven.
into that. Yeah. All right then.
All right.
Sounds good. Look
See
forward to
y'all
it.
later.